Time's 4 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get our meeting started.
Hilda, will you please do a roll call?
Mayor Ambrosio Hernandez.
Present.
Commissioner Lazaro Guajardo.
Present.
Commissioner Bobby Carrillo.
Here.
Commissioner Ramiro Caballero.
Here.
Commissioner Daniel Chavez.
Here.
Commissioner Ricardo Medina.
Present.
And Commissioner Itza Flores.
Present.
Thank you.
We're poor. Great. Pledge of allegiance.
Luis, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation?
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of city business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen.
Amen.
Is Constable Cantu here? Can you come forward, sir? You want to introduce yourself, sir?
Sure.
Just to be
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. I'm Constable Marty Cantu here with Precinct 2, and I would thank the mayor for inviting me here today.
Yes, sir. We want to invite you here because, it's not very often we get afforded the luxury of thanking our law enforcement agencies. We have a great, outstanding chief in our department. We have a great sheriff, and now obviously we know we have a great constable. We wanted to thank you for your service and know that the city of Pharr stands with you, and know that we're very grateful for all the service you and your comrades do for the entire county. And with that, I had invited you here because I wanted to be sure that our commission got, number one, but they always hear about you. They always know the great things that you do and your office does, and it's located here in Pharr, the city, your office, and wanted to thank you personally for that. And with that, if you don't mind, we'd like to have a picture in our archives.
Sure, I'd appreciate that. Just real quick, in the last 7 years that I've been the constable, we've always had a great relationship with the city of Pharr. And like you mentioned,
sir.
our office is here in Pharr, and it's probably the centralized area for Precinct 2. So we've always had a good collaboration with the city, and we'd love to continue it. We have continued it, and I have a good relationship with the majority of, well, not with the majority, with everybody here. And that's one of the things that I think our office does well is continue relationships and collaborate well with everybody in the city, state, and federal levels. So I thank you for the invitation, and I'd love to have a picture if it's.
Absolutely. You can come up here, sir.
Thank you.
Right.
hates it, bro.
Allergies all of a sudden.
All right, moving on to public hearings. I believe we have one public comment, or this for later. I'm sorry. No public hearing today. All right, city manager's report. The submission of certified totals for tax assessed value 2019. That's item 3A. Hidalgo County finalized City of Pharr property assessment value for tax year 2019 on July 29, 2019. The total net taxable value for 2019 is $3,186,698,986. Attached is the report. I don't think we need any action on that.
Okay.
Carla, do we need action on approving that? No? Okay. Item 3B, submission of sales tax collection report for August 2019. The sales activity for the city of Pharr as of month August 2019 has shown an overall positive trend in the amount of $2,525,271 from this point last year, or an increase of 15%. Item 3C, submission of tax collection report for July 2019. Current tax collections as of July 2019 are $18,250,661, or 95.38% collected out of this year's levy. This is a 0.24 increase compared to last year.
Nice.
Item 3D, submission of quarterly report for period ending June 2019. As part of the fiscal transparency The city financial reports are prepared on a quarterly basis in order to maintain our citizens informed and the city commission. This report is preliminary and unaudited and prepared by the finance department. The report is quarter ending June 30, 2019, and it is in your packet, and our finance director is here if anybody has any questions. We don't have any city events to report, so moving on to item 4A, which is consent agenda. All items listed under consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial. We do
Okay.
need action.
Do we have a mo-
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. In accordance with section 551.071 to 551.087 of the Texas Government Code, the Pharr Board of Commissioners hereby gives notice it is convening into executive session to discuss the items listed in the public portion of the meeting agenda, the time now being 4:05. We're back. The time is 5:57. Mr. City Manager.
¿Qué quedó?
So under regular agenda, we have the ordinance and resolution. 5A, consideration and action of any on ordinance calling a bond election to be held in the city of Pharr, Texas, making provision for the conduct of an election and resolving other matters incident and related to such election, including authorizing the execution of any necessary engagement agreements with the city's bond council.
Motion to deny the bond.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is denied. 5B,
Consideration and action of any on ordinance establishing procedures for public testimony. This is the second and final reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Item 5C, consideration and action of any on ordinance amending ordinance O 2018-45 pertaining to public comments. This is also second and final reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? I was all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Item 5D, consideration and action of any on ordinance amending ordinance number O 2017-32, renaming the Pharr Beautification Committee to Keep Pharr Beautiful Committee. This is the third and final reading.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Give me 1 second. 5E, consideration and action of any on ordinance amending ordinance number O 2010-33, regulating business storage disposal registration and haulers for tires. This is the third and final reading.
Move for approval.
Okay.
Second.
Second, Wajado. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
5F, consideration and action of any on ordinance amending ordinance number O 2017-12. This regarding the animal control and the limitation on the pets. This is the third and final reading.
Move for approval. Second.
Second, Medina. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
5G, consideration and action of any on resolution approving the continued receipt of bingo prize fee funds in accordance with House Bill 914. Staff recommends approval.
Move for approval. Second.
You know, Chavez seconded. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
5H, consideration and action of any on resolution adopting rules of procedure for placement and removal of agenda items for city commission agendas with these following changes, or to include these following changes. The mayor, or in his absence, Mayor Pro Tem shall determine the contents of the agenda relating to policy items. The mayor shall transmit these items to the city manager within the time frame for adding items to the agenda and in time for distribution to the city commission. Also, to include removal or modification of agenda items relating to policy items shall be at the discretion of the mayor or by a supermajority of the members of the board, and removal or modification of agenda items relating to operational items shall be at the discretion of the city manager or deputy city manager.
So
Okay.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
One- I heard Medina? Wajado. Got it. All right. It passes.
Item 5I, consideration and action of any on resolution appointing and reappointing three members to the Pharr Economic Development Corporation 2 Board of Directors. The terms of the Mayor, Board President Ambrosio Hernandez, Commissioner Ramiro Caballero, and Commissioner Ricardo Medina will expire September 18, 2019. Appointment and reappointment is needed at this time.
Motion to reappoint him.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One abstention for obvious reason. I want to abstain. It passes.
Item 6A, submission and certification of effective and rollback tax rate per Hidalgo County Appraisal District for tax year 2019. Hidalgo County Appraisal District issued benchmark tax rates to compare the city's existing tax rate with last year's rate, effective and rollback rate. This is only for information purposes and to have a benchmark when considering or proposing a new tax rate.
Okay.
Staff recommends approval.
Move for
So moved.
approval.
Second.
Second, Carrillo. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Item 6B, discussion and action for vote on proposed tax rate increase and schedule public hearing. Texas requires all municipalities to hold 2 public hearings whenever proposed tax rate exceeds the effective tax rate.
So moved.
Second.
Give me 1 second, please, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
A record vote has to be taken and the city has to announce the dates of public hearing to approve the proposed tax rate and schedule public hearing as follows: September 3rd, 2019 at 4 p.m. and September 9th, 2019 at 4 p.m. And I believe we need a record vote for this?
A what?
A record vote? Each member has.
Which is the vote?
Oh,
Correct.
Well, I-
Okay.
Move
A
to,
motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It
Yeah, go
passes.
by one, no?
one by one.
One by one?
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Mojar?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
It passes.
Item 6C, consideration and action of any on authorizing city manager to negotiate and enter into a contract for energy consultant, project number 1819-01-510-SO29-235. The city went out for bids for energy consultant services, received 4 bidders. 3 of the 4 bidders were lacking required information and were declared non-responsive. Only 1 bidder completed the bid package, therefore the service contract for energy consultant with Marco Arredondo should be awarded. Approval for a service contract with Marco from Portland, Texas to provide professional electricity consulting services related to the procurement and delivery of electricity for its facilities with the option to extend the contract for 2 additional years in 1-year increments, subject to satisfactory performance and the negotiated prices remain firm.
Let's discuss an executive session, right?
So moved.
All right. Do you have a
Second.
second? Second?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear, sorry. Any further discussion? I was all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Item 6D, consideration and action of any on counter for the land acquisition of Lot 3, Louisville LOC Estates, Pharr, Hidalgo County, Texas. The city of Pharr has determined that certain properties necessary for the furtherance of road improvements and associated projects that are proposed to be made, and that such improvements will be beneficial public improvements to the residents and inhabitants of the city of Pharr. The city has made an initial offer to the property owner of $320,000, and as indicated in the appraisal report that was conducted by Aguirre Patterson, the property owner has responded with a request of $609,000 plus taxes for 3 years. Staff is recommending a counter final offer of $385,000. Staff recommends approval.
Move for approval. Second.
Any discussion? I was all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Also, can you, I think
Yes.
we need to clarify something. 5C?
5C?
Mhm.
Okay. 5C. Five C was consideration and action of any on ordinance amending ordinance 2018-45 pertaining to public comment. I believe this resolution was being approved we're denying this resolution.
Mayor, Commissioner.
Do I have to
Yes.
rescind it and then
Clarify.
make a comment?
Oh, I pushed the
Well-
wrong button. So, the resolution, my understanding is it's gonna be, passed with the exception of the public comment section, is to be removed from that particular ordinance.
After the meeting, public comments.
That's correct. The post, less than a quorum, public comment section.
But hold on, consider, the item 5B was a testimony, which we have to have, right?
Correct. So by law now, we're required to have agenda item comment section in our open meeting portion of our meetings. And so the reason we had public comment was to allow members of the public to address the commission in less than a quorum, but now it's required by law. So our ordinance in 5B is going to cover that, and we don't need to continue having the public comment section in this particular item on 5D.
5C.
I'm sorry, 5C.
See,
So do we need to bring that item back? to-
Just clarify the motion.
I rescind the motion on 5C. Who seconded it?
Second. Guajardo, second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed,
I
rescinded.
make the
Now, sir.
motion to remove
Public comment.
the public comments after our city meeting without a quorum.
Second.
Any further discussion? I was all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you for clarification.
Item 7A, consideration and action of any on acquisition of technology equipment for the Pharr Police Department. The acquisition of the equipment entails the replacement of mobile data terminals, body-worn cameras and car recording systems, criminal investigation interview room, and building surveillance cameras. The current equipment is outdated, and we're looking to improve or update our equipment, and staff recommends approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? I was all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Item 8A, consideration action of any on agreement with Pharr San Juan Alamo School District for school resource officer services. The Pharr, or PSJA and the city of Pharr have common interest in providing for a positive way of life without interference from third parties. The district will reimburse the city for the police officer salary at a rate of, but not less than $21,691.21 for each officer per year until January 31st, 2020. The amount shall be earned on a per-day basis at a rate of $246.49 per day, not to exceed 88 instructional school days, for the total of $173,529.68. The normal workday will consist of 8.25 hours that will be determined by both police administrators and respective campus principals as per the needs of the individual campuses. Staff recommends approval.
So moved.
Second.
Chief Luengo, how much longer do you anticipate working with the PHA school district? I mean, we've had a great relationship, but they're considering doing a police force, is that correct? And will that have an impact on this program?
Correct, sir. And so for the record, Jose Luengo, Pharr Police Department Chief. Yes, sir, we've been in talks with the newly formed PSJ ISD Police Department with Chief Garcia. And according to him, he is standing firm that the services that we've been providing to them, school resource officers, he's given the timeline of January the 31st. However, we still feel that to continue the relationship, we will still continue to help them out until they're fully settled on their own. However, based on his comments, January the 31st will be the last day that we would have officers over there.
Thank you, sir.
Item 8B, consideration and action of any on agreement between the Pharr Police Department and PSJ School District for police canine services. PSJ and the city of Pharr have common interest in providing for a positive way of life without interference from third parties. The district will reimburse the city for the canine team salary at a rate of no less than $50 an hour for each hour that the canine team is used. This agreement will cover the school year until the end of the school year on May 24th, 2020. This amount shall be earned on an hourly basis, not to exceed 168 instructional school days. The normal workday will consist of 8 hours that will be determined by both police administrators and respective campus principals as per the needs of individual campuses. And staff recommends approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? I was all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. I forget we got that one. 5B. 8B.
That's the one we just approved.
You need to vote.
Did.
Didn't vote.
We just voted on that one.
On
8B.
8B, I believe, 8A, I'm sorry, there was not a vote.
Oh, there was not a vote on 8A.
There was a motion made in a second. So let's vote on item 8A concerning the resource officer service.
There was only a first and a second.
Yes, for a comment.
Right. When we had the discussion.
Okay, we'll vote.
Yes, we're ready to vote.
Okay.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you for clarification.
Item 8C, consideration and action of any on agreement with Valley View Independent School District for police canine services.
For
The district
approval.
will okay.
Second.
Thank you for helping me.
Any
I don't have to
discussion?
read
All
it.
in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Item 8D, consideration and action of any, rejecting all bids for the City of Pharr Monument Signage Project and authorizing the city manager to re-advertise for bids on award of contract. On August 8th, 2019, formal bids were opened with 2 respondents to the solicitation. The bids received range from $128,000 to $139,000. The bids came in over budget. Staff recommends rejecting all bids and re-advertising the
So moved.
project.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It
Motion to
passes.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. We are adjourned. Time is 6:10. Thank you, everybody.
We do have public comment.